What's going on, beautiful people? You already know who it is, but I'm going to say it anyway. It's Twan, the Chocolate Maverick, trying to touch on a matter of the heart that I really am 100% sure someone needs to hear this. Because they may be being a little bit more self sacrificial in their relationship or with their friendships than probably what's needed. And I wanted to send this love and this light in the form of some wise information that I learned myself, not just through life experience, but also through reading some books on psychology and actually hearing a very long breakdown about this particular situation. So I just hope this is going to bring some healing to someone's heart, because we live in a time where not many of us are very selective with who we are spending our time with. I hate to say it like this, but I haven't traveled the world, so I don't know. It may be just a East Coast Maryland, East Coast thing, because I've seen it on down south, I've seen it up north, and I'm seeing it in the middle in Maryland. It's kind of like literally where the Mason-Dixon line is. So it may not be that prevalent around the world, but I want to speak on the subject anyway. But we live in a time where people are not that selective with who they get their time to, who they get their heart to, and who they attach themselves to. And it's costing them so much in the long run. I really truly believe that being selective is one of the best things you can do for yourself, because you deserve to have good people around you. You deserve to have genuine love. You deserve to have people that can learn and know how to treat you the way that you desire to be treated, or at least with a good amount of love, respect, and unconditional positivity and giving. But I believe we live in a time where we kind of base too many of our relationships on attraction or what looks attractive, and we're really not paying attention to the red flags that the people that we're pursuing or that are pursuing us are showing, like with billboard signs, and it's ruining our heart's ability to love. And I want to really touch on that ability. I really want to touch on that because hurt people unconsciously. They literally are doing it unconsciously. They're really not really aware that they're probably even doing it, because hurt people sometimes try to hide the pain. They try to stuff it to the side and try to be so strong that they don't really never acknowledge it, and it stays within inside. And everything on the inside always is reflected on the outside. What is within is always what's without. What is above is it's just truly, I'm coming to learn that the relationships that come to us are literally like a mirror to what we may be feeling inside. And it's a beautiful mirror because God, or if you don't believe in God, the universe is trying to communicate to you that you have something inside that you need to check. So if you are attracting a bunch of hurt people that hurt you into your life, or you're attracting people that just can't seem to treat you right, you gotta understand that hurt people. That person may be hurt, you may be hurt, and that's why you're attracted to each other. And the unhealthy relationship is not meant for you guys to stick it out and just try to love each other anyway. It's probably more for you to recognize, why is this person sent to me, and possibly ask that question. Really asking the right question, I'm really starting to understand, gets the right answers. So if you're dealing with a relationship and you're dealing with someone that just can't seem to treat you right, where they just keep hurting you, and you're just like, I don't understand what's going wrong. What am I doing wrong? Why do I keep attracting these people? It's time to take some self-evaluation, boo. It's time, my man, to look inside and see what's going on in there that is bringing this stuff to you. Because if you don't address it, you're just going to keep attracting more of it. And on top of that, the abusive relationship you're in right now with another person that's hurt, if neither one of you even learn to look inside and get healed, you're just going to break up and go to some other hurtful relationship, the both of you. And this is going to be this unending cycle. That's why self-reflection and healing is so imperative during a time like this, where there's so much energetic change going on and things are coming uh, more the unseen things are coming to be seen. The truth definitely comes to light closer to the end. So we got to be careful when it comes to who we're giving our time and attention to. And if we're going to deal with someone that's hurt, make sure you got the love capacity to deal with it. Make sure you got enough self-love, you got enough patience, you got enough giver in you to deal with someone that's at a deficit. And lower your expectations. If you once you recognize that they are hurt and they're hurting you and you still want to stick it around, lower your expectations. Don't keep sticking around a hurt person thinking they're going to be the best person for you, knowing that they probably have already shown you that they can't be any better than what they already are. So if you're going to pursue that relationship anyway, then do it within a way that's not going to hurt them even more. Please, because you sticking around thinking that you're just doing it for love and you're really just making more arguments, building more anxiety and building more frustration in their heart, it's just, you're not helping that person at all. And it's unfortunate, but that's just how things are. Hurt people unconsciously. Dysfunctional people unconsciously create dysfunctional situations. And it's not that they're doing it on purpose, but if they grew up in a dysfunctional environment or they spent so much time in dysfunction, it's their normal. So they're going to create that environment because that's what they're used to. That's what's normal to them. That's not, it doesn't feel like dysfunction to them. It feels like normal functioning. So if you're going to be dealing with someone that you're starting to recognize, they have some really interesting ways of making things like unnecessary, or they tend to go out the way to mess things up, and you just don't know why they keep doing it. You got to think maybe, just maybe, it's something deeper going on the inside with that person, or even with you. Maybe you're the one that grew up in a dysfunctional environment, and that's why you keep attracting dysfunctional people. Or maybe you're thinking that there's this person coming around and they're just changing you, or they're trying to change you. Maybe it could be possible that that's true. It could be someone coming to bring you love that you never had before, and they're trying to show you how to love, and you're so used to dysfunction, you're just trying to change me. Or that person could be trying to change you. But the reality of it is, you really got to, again, boils down to self-reflection and really going back to the inside. And honestly, just putting it up in prayer, because sometimes you just don't know what you don't know. But if you keep not knowing, it's not going to stop the pain from coming to you. So again, dysfunctional people unconsciously create dysfunctional situations. You gotta forgive hurt people and dysfunctional people because they're not doing it on purpose. It's very unconscious. Again, whatever's within is always going to come to the surface without. So if you're going to pursue somebody that's exuding that they definitely are not functioning in a way that you can see yourself dealing with, but you think you're attracted to them, or you think you want to love them, or you want to stick around, again, do it if you know you can handle it and not mess them up even more. There's too many people jumping in relationships with broken pieces and never trying to even mend the wounds that are just breaking other people. And Lord knows, those shattered, those broken, those hard-headed, and just people that are hard to love still need love. Someone does probably, hopefully, can have the ability to come around and love them, because everybody deserves love. But you gotta call a spade a spade. Do you have that inner strength? Do you have that inner love? Do you have that deep level of happiness to deal with somebody that's at a deficit? And if you do, do what it do and show that love. I believe showing love to everybody is the best thing to do, but I just see too many people stand around in relationships that are legitimately killing them. And I don't think that's what we're here for. I believe we're here to have loving relationships, or relationships that teach us something about ourselves so we can learn how to be the better versions of ourselves. So these dysfunctional relationships, these hurtful relationships are coming to teach us something. But if we never take the time to stop, reflect, meditate, or even just pray and ask questions, we're just going to keep creating a cycle. And the worst part about it all is you're going to be hurting your own ability to love others, because you're breaking your own heart by trying to mend something that you never had the strength to really mend. You're going to keep putting your heart on the line for situations that really, your heart needed healing. Your heart needed to be on the sideline in the ambulance getting healed, and you're putting it right back on the field to get pummeled again. And that's not fair to your heart. That's not fair to the person you're jumping back in with, because they're not going to understand why you can't do X, Y, and Z. So I really just think it really boils down to us taking some time to reflect and heal before we keep jumping into more and more places that will bring us more pain and put us farther down the darkness hole. And I mean, none of us are perfect. Most of us probably don't even know how to pick them, because maybe we didn't have family members that were good at picking them. So we're probably all working at some sort of deficit here. But educating yourself and really reading books and trying to learn yourself is one of the best ways you can stop yourself from running into these situations. Because I hate to bring it to you, but another thing, insecure people go out the way to create insecure situations. I'm pretty sure somebody watches this video know what I'm talking about. That boyfriend or girlfriend call every 3 hours trying to figure out where you're at. or you don't answer the phone for one day, they think that you're already with somebody else, or you can't fulfill one thing and they think that you're automatically not reliable. But maybe in that time there was some conditions in place that you really couldn't even explain to them how it happened. But they're so insecure, all they're doing is taking it all the wrong way. They hate to blow it to you. Insecure people go out the way to create insecurities. But again, we have to have a forgiving heart, because people that are insecure more than likely didn't get the parenting that they need when they were young. They probably didn't have someone around when they were young at their developmental ages protecting them and keeping them confident. Or it could be something just as easy. I mean, actually, I'm just learning this as well. Like, parents not letting their kids win creates insecurities later on as adults, like playing games and racing and never letting the child win. It teaches them that they don't have the ability to win. Or when a child is coming and asking for help and you just keep telling them to figure it out, and then they can't figure it out and they're even more frustrated, they're going to, as an adult, feel even more insecure, because when they needed someone to be there to help them feel secure, you just brushed them off. So that's why parenting is such an important role. Childhood healing is such an important aspect of growth. But trust and believe, insecure people don't mean to do it. You have to forgive them, because they do not what they're doing. I mean, I really believe that forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. That is a very broad and wide statement that covers so many different facets of life. So if you're going to pursue this path with someone that you see clearly is showing you a bunch of red flags, but maybe you're just intimately involved, and maybe you just fell head over heels, this is not meant to be a warning more than it's meant to be food for thought and education about the fact that some of these people can't help it. They just can't help it. There's also an abundance of men and women in the world. So if you really are trying your best to not get so hurt, honestly, I think the best thing you can do for yourself is work on yourself, and then you'll be attracting the better people. Because if you don't ever heal, you're just going to keep attracting whatever poison is inside. I really think it's really about taking the time to go back inside, but it's all on you, what you decide to do with your time and what you do with your life. But your heart matters, and putting it on your sleeve and always just taking it in the battle all the time is going to make it so much harder for you to love in the long run. And then when you have children, they're going to need that love that you put on the guillotine so many times because of sexual attraction, or because of in the moment it felt right, or you just know that this person is this. Sometimes you just gotta stop ignoring the red flags, call a spade, and not think the person is being bad, or not thinking you as being horrible for bringing or taking the chance with that person. Nothing is ever wrong with taking a chance of love, but I believe truly there's something wrong when you're ignoring too many of the red flags. Because if you ignore the red flags, you may never learn the lesson of why they even came into your life in the first place. If someone insecure keeps coming into your life, you keep literally attracting insecure relationships or people with insecure people. I don't know what you're insecure about on the inside, but there's only one person that can find out, and that's you. If you keep attracting people that hurt you or can't seem to love you right, maybe it's because you need to love yourself better than what you do. Because when you love yourself, you won't deal with certain things. When you respect yourself, you won't put yourself in certain environments or certain situations. So maybe it's a self-love and self-respect or self-acceptance issue. Maybe you're not accepting yourself and you're just going with the person because they accepted you for who you, or they seem to be accepting you for who you were in the moment. And then months later, they just don't know how to deal with you because they thought they knew how to deal with who you were, but then they recognize maybe you just were a little bit too much for them. Again, healing, I think, is the way to solve all these bad relationships, to take time to go inside and see what's really going on. But your heart deserves good. Everyone else's heart deserves good. But if we don't all start considering what's going on inside, we're not going to consider how many people we're hurting. We're not going to consider why that person is hurting us, because it's so much bigger. But I believe forgiveness is a key, forgiving everybody, because you just never know what happened to them. You never know what's really going on inside. That's why forgiveness is so important. So this is by far the longest video I've ever done, but I believe it's the most important work I've ever done, because there's so many people that are, I think, confusing attachment and love, confusing lust and attraction. There's so much confusion going out there, but there's so many broken hearts, and no one's taking the time. Well, I would like to think more of us need to take the time to heal our hearts, so that way we can possibly attract better things to us. So Just food for thought. I am not the creator, so I do not know all things, but this is something that he really touched my heart and has shared a lot of wisdom with you on, and I just want to make sure that that wisdom is shared with others. So I hope that this hits you well, and I hope that it helps in the long run of anything. As always, number peace and love, and a good thought process. Let it hit your heart, let it marinate in your mind, and above all, take time to think about it. That's the only real way you're going to know if this is really applicable to you. Take some time to really think about it. Peace and love.